Hello and welcome to another episode of Pine Stars. I am Brad Bates. With me, as always, is Brian Tyrannosaurus Rimke and Kurt. The Kurt Brabender is back in town. Thanks for joining us, Kurt. We know you're a popular guy. With
Happy to be
us,
here.
with us again this week is Coach Al Reddy. Coach, coming off of last weekend, it was a tough series, and we knew it was going to be a competitive series, four-game series with UMSL. You took one out of the four. Game two, you guys won 3-0. Adam Tran had a really good outing, complete game shutout on the mound through 7 innings, 9 Ks. Really did a nice job.
Yeah,
Um,
Aiden Tran. You told me to correct you,
what
so
did what
Aiden,
did I say?
you called him Adam.
God, there was a kid in my school that was always in trouble, and his name was Adam Tran.
Hey, I call him Johnny Tran from the Fast and Furious. That's what I call him.
All right.
Yeah.
I apologize, Aiden. That's on me. But you're 24-18 overall, 15-9 in the conference, currently tied for sixth in the conference. Kind of talk to us a little bit about last weekend, and tell us a little bit about how the Pack the House or the Back the Pack outing went.
Yeah, no, it was a great atmosphere. Nearly the whole football team came out there, and a lot of the other sports were out there to support us. The weather was great. It was a great game too. It came down to the wire, and I will give UMSL credit. Their closer was legit. His fastball was up to 94.
Wow.
He had a wipeout slider, and he was difficult. He was a little bit of a problem for us, especially coming off Lincoln pitching. We talked about that a little bit too. That all week long we tried to simulate as much as we could. Velocity, fastball up, and it's easier said than done, though. I can tell you that. I do think that moving forward this week, it's going to be a little bit easier coming off UMSL pitching to face Springfield than it was coming off Lincoln pitching to face UMSL. So, but yeah, it was a good game, good atmosphere. I'm very thankful that a lot of the other sports came out to support us because it was a fun day.
Yeah, I was watching the game on the GLVC network on Friday, and even the commentator were talking about how the football team was getting after some of the pick plays and stuff like that. So it was good to hear that the atmosphere was good. But you had four close ball games. You lose game one, 7-5. You win game two, 3-0. You lose game three, 9-8. Had the tying run at second. Boss Baby came up with a big 2 RBI double in the bottom of the seventh. And then game four lost 10-7. So close ball games, and regional rankings are coming out. Conference rankings currently in sixth place, so sitting really well. But you got some tough series coming up.
Yes, we do. So this is a huge series this weekend for us. UIS is currently one of the teams that's under consideration in the region, and they're pretty high up there. So we take
I
care of
fucking hate Illinois Springfield. I fucking hate them. Like I appreciate all of college baseball. I fucking hate them. There's no way you should be a fairly good ball club and you're Prairie Stars. Like Jesus Christ, people.
Well, yeah.
Sorry. I just couldn't.
How do
I
you
couldn't
really
handle it.
feel, Bates? My God,
Yeah.
get off your soapbox for a minute.
Oh,
This is behind the dish with Al, not behind the dish with Brad.
Yeah,
sorry. Land the plane.
You can have your opinions on their mascot. That's entirely your prerogative. But they are a good ball club, though. They're well coached, and we're going to have to play Greyhound baseball to come out on top. And we're just we're right there with them, though. I can tell you that it's going to be another good series.
Yeah, they're 17-7 in the conference, 29-13 overall, and you know, Brian, Kurt, you guys got any thoughts?
I'll let the guy late to the party go.
You just get a pump in today, Kurt?
I did. Yeah, I just left the gym.
I can tell.
Can see it.
Seatbelt doesn't fit today. Have to get one of those extenders that those fat people get on the planes.
Al, I mean, like you were saying before, four really good games, 1, 2, and 3 run ball games. What was kind of the team's mindset as you guys walked out of the weekend?
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously disappointing.
Sure.
especially losing the 2 extra inning games. Bates and I were talking about that earlier. Is when you're home team and you're in extra innings, you should win the game. That's baseball's the only game that when the home team, goes ahead in extra innings, the game's over. There's no more game. If the visiting team scores 3 or 4 runs, it keeps going. So. But again, their closer was tough to handle, and he kept them going. He kept them alive for a couple innings and extras, and they were able to get a timely hit. And that's just sometimes that's the way it goes. But
Yeah.
it was a good series. We could have played better defense and turned a few more double plays on Sunday. That would have helped out. We made 6 errors on Sunday and had several opportunities to turn a double play, and it did not turn one, and ultimately that game went into extra innings too as well, and with the same result. So a couple of missed opportunities, but what are you going to do? We've got our work cut out for us ahead of us, and if we don't win, what are we talking about? You got to win your games anyway. So
Right. Yeah.
Al, you're kind of like a modern day Socrates or like Nostradamus by saying that the home team has the lead in the bottom half of the inning and the last inning that they win the game. That's amazing.
As soon as they score, it's over, man. That's right. I mean, that's how it's always been.
Yeah. Well,
I'm gonna write that one down.
Harder to play when it's either a 7 or 9 inning game if you're playing with extra outs, right? So record 21 outs, you feel pretty good. You get 27, but when you're giving away those outs, puts a lot more pressure back on either the pitching or your hitters to step up. So, but as you said before, and as we've seen all year long, you guys have your way to bounce back, especially at the plate with the bats, and the bats were still showing up.
We don't quit. We had the time run at the plate, the go-ahead run at the plate in extras in both games, and we just couldn't put it together. I mean, but the fight is there, and we've done that all year long. And again, my prediction of us winning the conference tournament, that hasn't changed, because that's just what we, the odds are going to favor that type of ball club, so that type of club that can just trade punches and last man standing, that's odds favor us in that format.
Yeah. So you got a tough opponent coming into town this weekend. You got senior day on Sunday out at the ballpark. Talk to us a little bit about, when it's a needed series, right? Be great to get 3 out of 4, 4 out of 4 would be amazing. But that UI Springfield they are a good ball club. What does that pre-game, pre-weekend speech look like for you, trying to get these guys to play at that next level?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it looks any different than any other weekend. I mean, you shouldn't have to, write something under your hat or anything else to remind you to play hard. I mean, you got to play hard against any opponent, no matter who it is. And just because it's Illinois Springfield, that doesn't change your
fucking Illinois Springfield. God damn it.
It doesn't change anything for us. We're just going to go out and try to execute, and pitchers are going to try their best to keep us in the game, which they've done all year long. And hopefully we can execute a little bit better the small ball stuff, and get some timely hits. And if we do, we'll win.
Yeah, sounds good. Kurt, Brian, you got anything else for Coach before we let him go?
No, I mean, for me, I think, the regional rankings right now, I mean, this is a very important series for you all. And, you got to come out of the gates hot and, limit those 1-run ball game losses. 1-run ball game wins are great, but you got to cut those 1-run losses out, right? So, coming back to 6 this weekend, ideally they get hot and stay hot and can make these shorter ball games and limit the extra inning games that you guys are getting into. So
yeah, well, my ball
sound defense.
One of the characteristics of my ball clubs are they typically get hot around this time of year. The proof is in the pudding. You want to go back and fact check it, go right ahead. But we tend to play well.
The swagger on that statement.
We tend to play well down the stretch. And
are you a vanilla pudding? Are you a vanilla pudding guy or like a chocolate pudding guy?
Either one, man. Either one. Whatever's put.
You got to pick one or the other.
Kid just likes pudding, man.
Well, Kurt, it's good to see you're not driving home with a bag on your head.
Yeah. There's no reason to think we won't do it.
That'd make it difficult.
Yeah.
All right, Coach. We appreciate your time this week. Good luck to you and the boys. I'll be out there for game one on Saturday, helping call it on the GLVC network. So, um,
Ooh.
pretty pumped about that. So I'll be looking forward to that, and I'll catch you out at the ballpark.
One quick update too, since we are going to play a night game tomorrow night. We got rain coming tomorrow afternoon, so we're going to be over at Franklin Central at 8 p.m. tomorrow. Because it's a night game, we're going to push the Saturday doubleheader to 1 p.m. So it'll be a 1 o'clock start on Saturday for anybody that's coming out to the ballpark. Should be great weather too.
Wonderful. All right,
You're on the old
Coach.
bird's backyard.
Exactly. Yep, we are.
Got to be some good juju down there now.
Oh boy.
Are
Yes.
you going to have
Is
a
he-
pregame speech from the old bird?
I
Motivational
would-
pregame from old Gary Vaught?
I would love for him to come out and give us a little pep talk, but they play up at Noblesville, so I think he's going to be at the game at some point. But they play at like 6:30 at Noblesville, so I'm sure they'll probably get back into, back down here on this side of town probably sometime during the game. So maybe it'll be a little post game, pep rally from
Little fifth inning, fifth inning energy.
yeah.
He's still got time to get down there and get ejected. I got faith.
Hey,
It'd take
speaking
him
of the old,
45 minutes to get from the bus to the dugout in that hobble.
yeah. Hey, speaking of the old bird, do you think he still lays out on the tarp at his high school field during batting practice?
He might
Get sunbathing, shirtless.
baby oil out and
Get the baby oil.
You never know.
Or P Diddy out there.
Never know. Your show.
Oh,
Your show. You guys have been doing a great job, and I'm thankful for you too as well. Anytime you get a group of guys, especially former players and alumni that just love you Indy baseball and want to support us like you guys do, we're very thankful to have you guys. Appreciate it.
absolutely, man. All right, go get him this weekend. Good luck to you and the boys.
Thank you. Take care, guys.
Good luck, Al. $10. The old bird's on the tarp right now.
It is nice weather right now.
Yeah.
It goes back to that old Seinfeld episode where Kramer lathers himself up with Crisco and he smells like chicken.
It's butter.
It's all sunburned. Is it butter?
Uh-huh.
He's using butter because there's a Kenny Rogers roaster like nearby.
All right. So, yeah, last weekend was a rough weekend. They were right in ball games, but kind of like I told Kurt, it was one of those that the score was close, but the game didn't necessarily feel like it was maybe for some of those. Again, Aiden Tran, apologize for getting the name wrong earlier. Aiden Tran threw his third complete game shutout. Not shutout, but third complete game of the season. Really, really looked good on the mound.
Yeah,
But
those
they got
self-inflicted wounds, man. That's what's been hurting them.
yeah.
It's either fielding the ball or, as Al said, turning double plays because swinging,
Yeah.
they're there.
November. But the Prairie Fuck Stars are rolled in town this weekend, and they're 29-13, 17-7 in the conference. They're hitting 316 as a team.
Yeah.
They got a middle of the lineup that can really, really swing it. So, Rimke, you got any information on the Prairie Stars?
No, I mean just a high level. They're sitting there at number 2 in the conference based on win percentage. The last couple of years they just seem like they're always kind of in the mix. So consistent,
Yeah.
playing tough. They're coming off of a series with Maryville where they took 3 out of 4. Previous weekend they got swept by S&T. So
Yeah. Well, I mean, S&T's fucking good,
they're good.
man.
They're legit.
They're 24 and 20-4 in the conference.
Yeah.
But they've got a middle of their lineup. You know what pissed me off too about this fucking ball club is not one good name on the team. Not one that I could pull out and just say, hey, it's Shingle Decker, anything like that. We didn't get any Shingle Deckers. But Corey Biotti is hitting 401 on the season. He's got a 1.276 OPS, 12 home runs, 46 RBI. He can swing it. Caden Griffiths hitting 360 or 386 1.226 OPS, 13 home runs, and 59 RBI. So those two guys in the middle of the lineup. And then they got another kid, Tommy Atkinson, which that's one of the most American names if I've ever heard it. Is hitting 373, 10 home runs, and 46 RBI. You know, they got a pretty jacked middle part of their lineup that the pitchers are gonna have to deal with.
Yeah, they're not afraid to have the ball leave the ballpark either.
Yeah.
I mean, I think this might be the first team they run up against that has more home runs than the Hounds do.
Do they really?
Yeah, they've got 64 versus 58.
Wow.
So big
I
part
did
of
look
it.
and see they don't run very much. They've got 49 stolen bags compared to UN's got 95. And you know
Yeah.
who's the leading? I think he's leading the team in stolen bases. It's Kenny Two Names. Goddamn catcher.
What is he now?
I think he's been thrown out once.
Let's see.
He's modern day Jason Kendall. Remember Jason Kendall for the Pirates? Was
Yeah,
their
he
leadoff hitter,
he
catcher.
definitely leads the team. He's 19 for 25. So
Don't
yeah,
ever count out a catcher, man. They're athletes as well.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
I didn't say all. And you
Oh.
are converted to a first baseman.
I was
So
gonna say
I'm on the show with two non-athletes right now.
Oh, hey now. Well, Ronnie
there's
Coleman
only-
there.
There's only two other people on the call besides me, you and Brian. So you do the math.
Oh, who was the team when we played? Who was the team you hated most? Who was the team that you just wanted to pile drive them into the ground every time we played them?
St. Joe's.
Mm.
So much so they went out of business.
I think that was some mismanagement by some Catholic priest. I don't know.
Wouldn't be the first time.
I would say I'd say they're up there. I think Quincy was another one.
Yeah.
I really didn't care for the whole it's the last out thing. That can get shoved up somebody's ass, not ours.
Yeah, because they got left out of the regional or something. And that it was.
And then we go on to the series, and
we got to hang a fucking Quincy jersey in the dugout.
You know the rest of the story.
Edwardsville wasn't real fun either.
No, they were not. Good call on that one.
Lewis sucked because of their coach. I mean, basically, everybody else was shit.
Didn't the Lewis coach third in a wheelchair because he was so big, like one of those automated ones?
Yeah, he stole one of those fat hover rounds from Kroger, and in between innings he had to plug it in because he had juicer back up.
Yeah, he kept his signs in the basket.
Yeah, everybody thought he wore the hard hat to protect his head, but it was just holding his ice cream when he was in the dugout.
All right, boys, it's time. It's time for the best segment of the show. It's time for our clicks to pick this weekend versus University of Illinois Springfield, Prairie Fuck Stars. All right, Brian, who you got for your click to pick this week?
I mean, we don't do back-to-back week picks, right? Like, so I won't do that. But I'm going to stay with what's been working because even over this weekend, they were close games. I thought the pitching went well. I'm going to go with Aiden Pearson.
Okay. Friday night starter.
I like it. I think get out. It's time set the tone for the series. Take game one under the lights, and that's who I'm rolling with.
All right, Mr. Pearson getting a nod. I'm going to pick for myself. I'm going to pick for myself here. This young man's been pretty consistent recently, so he's already kind of clicking, and I just think he's going to continue to click. Maybe a little bit of a cheater step on my part, but I'm going with the sophomore out of Seymour. I'm going with Brett Perry this weekend. Okay. Kid's playing well, playing good ball, good approach at the plate, and Reddy said last year once he came out of redshirt and started going with them, so did the team. So I think they continue to roll as Brett does. So that Brett Perry is my click to pick this week.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. Kurt, if you're if you're on the fence, you don't know which way you're going.
I am on the fence. So if you don't like my pick, I don't really give a shit. So I'm gonna go Luke Spock. I'm going Luke Spock.
Okay.
He's got, I think I picked him earlier in the year. I think he had a good week after that. Does anybody know why I'm picking him?
No, because
You said the first.
Are you
You
going
said
to a
the
meat
first
locker?
time.
Not Meat Locker, no.
Oh.
No. I just like his hair. I like the lettuce.
Yeah.
I like the lettuce.
Kid's got a good
That's,
mane.
Good mane. So
You know what he needs for the weekend, Kurt? He needs some gold spikes.
hey, why not change it up a little bit? All right, makes you faster.
Cinnamonies
That
and gold
order of
spikes.
Cinnamonies. I might
Yeah.
order a whole thing of Cinnamonies for the team this weekend. I'll be in the dugout just waiting.
All right. Well, those are our clicks this week. We appreciate you joining us. We will be back next week to take a look at that series, the Illinois Springfield series, and the week ahead. We'll catch you guys next week. Go ahead.
I'm going to end this, right? I'm going to end it this time. You can definitely create some havoc this weekend. There's nothing harder to put out than a prairie fire, right? So these fucking Prairie stars, light them on fire, let them burn, just let them burn. All right, let them burn, let their season turn into ashes this weekend. A downward spiral right now.
I like it. I don't know what other motivation you need.
I don't know. That's all I got. That's all I got.
All right. Thanks, boys. I appreciate you. I'll catch you next week.
Later on.